Hello and welcome back to Leeds United for the final games of the Champions League group stage. Just the mere prospect of Atletico Madrid and PSG to ensure our progression. Now, actually, strictly speaking, our progression is already ensured. We can be no lower than 18th, so guarantees some knockout for us. Obviously, last time out, Arsenal, where we did manage to progress to the Carabao Cup final. Only game since then is Newcastle 2-0. Dominic Szoboszlai with a lovely goal, as always, and Eddie Nketiah with a late confirmation. 2-0 at home. Nicely done. Keeps us second in the division. Now, the Champions League group stages looks like this. We've only lost that one game to Real Madrid. The other 5 wins leave us on 15 points and 15 goal difference. We have the best goal difference of anyone. But we do play Atletico, who are 12th, and PSG, who are 10th. Now, as you can see, Bayern Munich, remarkably, are the team that we can no longer be behind in 19th. They have 8 points. They can only get to a maximum of 14. That's as low as we can go. What concerns me is the fact that the points down to 12 go down to 9th. And every single team beneath us, from Villarreal down to Real Madrid, are capable of winning their game one more game than we are. All they need to do is win one more game than us. And chances are they might go ahead depending on goal difference and whether or not we played them. But if we lose both games, all of those ones kind of down to Man City as well in 13th. If they win both their games, depending on who they play, they're ahead of us. So the task isn't small, and realistically, Atletico at home is the one that I need to target to win. Out of the two of them, they're the one we've got the biggest chance of, and of course it relieves the pressure on the last one if we're sort of already through by that point. We still only have 4 strikers, so we're going to run with the 3 midfielders still. I'll be honest, I'm warming to this as the general formation, which means I do need more midfielders and less strikers. Good news, of course, though, is Bamford leaves at the end of the season regardless. I'm just letting him go. He came to me. I decided to let him go. So we will only have 5 strikers going into next season, just as standard. We also do have a deal for a left-back coming through. Karnasecki in goal, and Ndika Crespo Milenkovic, who's on a yellow card warning, so I'd rather him play this one, get the yellow card, and then be out of the PSG game, and then he's available for the knockouts. Skov, Livramento on the CWBs. Don't know why I phrased it like that. Joe Linton, Szoboszlai, Armada, Nketiah, and Milovanovic. I just want to say, by the way, Milovanovic, 17 goals this season. He has 12 finishing. But Atletico on the ball being dispossessed by Joe Linton. Yes, he's being the deciding... I still can't believe he scored against Arsenal. And again, that goal mattered. Livramento. He scored 2 goals this season, and both of them have mattered. Skov. They've not just been like freebie goals in 5-0 wins. They have both been effectively, not the last goal, but a part of the deciding factor. Without Joe Linton's goal against Arsenal, we wouldn't have gone to extra time and then won that. And without Joe Linton's goal against Liverpool, we wouldn't have won that game either. So, unbelievable. Livramento on the ball now. Almada gets held up. Livramento also gets held up. That's meant to go to Milenkovic. I don't think it was intended for Milenkovic, but the game pretended it was. We've managed to intercept that, and Szoboszlai is going to not get Nketiah through. Koke's turn to try and do something. Livramento gets in the way of that, and the ball's returned to him by way of Almada. A lot of changing hands of possession here, but finally progress. Almada on this ball stops. Somehow gets the ball to Dominic Szoboszlai. I have no idea. He's now scored 14 goals. He is a central midfielder, and he is my second highest goal scorer. I don't know how Almada gets the ball to him here. There is no fathomable way he threads that needle, but he has threaded that needle. That is quite ridiculous, and is the goal we need within 5 minutes of the game's beginning. A long way to go. Atletico in position. Considering the transfer news right now, it's quite funny that João Felix is still there. Llorente mugged off my left back there, has Molina. Karnasecki with a somewhat acrobatic save, but dealt with for now. Only 1 goal that I can see so far in today's action, and that's for Athletic Club, as they've written here. Athletic Bilbao. Lewandowski scored for Barcelona. Haaland scored for Man City. They play Wolfsburg, actually. They're one of the teams between us and Man City, so that's good news. Now they're playing each other. Liverpool ahead at Rosenborg, I noticed there as well. Stuttgart losing to Barcelona is a big one because they're in that chasing pack behind us, and Barcelona aren't. Winning here takes us top as things stand because Man United haven't scored. I believe they were the only team ahead of us at the day's beginning. Relvas on the stroke of half-time. I don't like the fact there's a chance about to happen. Kondogbia, Jimenez, Pavard. Okay, there is a change in their team. For a while there, I was genuinely believing that they hadn't changed anyone in their team. But then Pavard exists, and I'm not fully certain Molina's there already, but Kondogbia, Griezmann. This is just the Atletico team 4 years in the future with like 2 extra people they've equalised. I think they've still got Oblak in goal as well. Atletico, of course, my regional beta save as well. The first ever beta save. Griezmann finds Llorente though, and bam, done. Just want to have a look at that team. Okay, so this Relvas is new and not that good. And I don't know if Molina's moved there already in real life, but he moved straight away and he's listed. But I swear the rest of that team is just Atletico. Even the bench, Felipe, Hermoso, Sol. Okay, they've acquired some people in the form of Mancini, Timber, Maffio, but still. For 4 years in the future, that is a remarkably stable team. To be fair, even a point here puts us in a very good position going forward, he says as they play it around quite comfortably. Carrasco, Kondogbia, Llorente, fed through to Felix. Griezmann on the ball now. He was very good at the World Cup. That wasn't, though. And it'd be 3 English teams on 16 points. But yeah, you can see 1 point there. The table you can't see behind my head, I now realise. But so yeah, if we're on 16 points, I think I just saw the lowest team on 13 points as things stand is in 8th. So I think actually, with the way things are panning out right now, this very second, a point is enough to see us through to the second knockout round. Armada will still do the PSG game, of course. Nketiah should have been a goal. And of course, there's still half an hour to play here and everywhere else to change things up a bit. Villarreal have just equalised as well, seemingly. They were the ones directly behind us originally, so that might change things. And it does indeed change things. Man City in 9th are now the lowest team that can get ahead of us, so we are not safe on 16. And Dicker on a 6.3, I'm not a fan of, but not really a lot I can do about it. Livramento, Gotchling, Gomez on for Nketiah, who's had a poor one. Milovanovic will go into his slightly more preferred attacking forward, and Gomez comes on in his much better preferred pressing forward. Liverpool are winning 7-0. Well, that's their goal difference back in favour. The 3 midfielders are now tiring quite noticeably. Gotchling to who forward? Gomez, not the fastest, so I don't think even with that space ahead of him, he would have actually got there in time. And highlight over. Okay, people are knackering now a little bit. Going to go Santos on for Joel Linton. And I'm going to go Almada for Awar. And Skov's just been booked as well, it seems like, so all on for Skov. Oh, Milenkovic got his booking. That's actually really good news. Santos, Milovanovic. So now he cannot play in the PSG game, which means he will be fine for whatever knockout game comes. And how the hell did that not go in? Only cleared as far as Gotchling, and still in their third of the pitch. Gotchling sort of shepherded out by Kondogbia. Throw in, not a foul. Ballsy challenge to make on a yellow card there from Kondogbia. 9-0 for Liverpool. Blubbing heck. It finishes 1-1. You know, I actually predicted that result at the very beginning of all this. I said we could probably get points out of Dortmund and Atletico, the 2 home games against good teams. So realistically, actually, the only result that has differed to the one I was expecting is that Dortmund game, where we've got 2 more points out of it than I was anticipating. So you can see the full table there. Everyone down to 9th can get past us. And obviously we play PSG, so that's one of them. We need to check if any of them play each other. Is anyone like absolutely fluffing it? Arsenal are in 26th. I think I just saw that our under-18s in their version of this European endeavour are top of that with Ajax's under-18s. That's unbelievable, considering the 2 poor intakes we've had back-to-back there as well. I never covered it, but again, it's not great. 1 central midfielder, top prospects. That's the only thing holding up this particular intake. Oh, wow. Wow. I wasn't expecting it to happen now, but I did hold off taking the cash out on Magno. So we get 3.7 million because of our 20% sell-on. That is more than what the cash out was. Thank you, Newcastle. After mugging us off twice at the transfer window and nicking the players that we were going for, you've given us a slight payday there. 52 million for Magno. I mean, he's pretty good, isn't he? Really, but it just doesn't fit our system. He's been unbelievable for young boys. 4 rotation for Bournemouth in the game in between, apart from Joel Linton, just because I don't have enough midfielders at this point in time, and Milenkovic, who of course can't play against PSG, so might as well play him here. Oh, and the goalkeeper, but that's a given. 3-2 against Bournemouth in the end. Kind of got away with it. All goals in the first half. The Umbromo goal, fortunate, we'll say that, but sketchier than it needed to be. I'll be honest, I thought this had already gone through, but end of season for Gosens. Squad plays accepted, reasonable wages accepted. Sure, technically actually already an improvement on the players that we have at left back, because they're both 2.5 stars regarded, I think. So not the person that's actually solving left back. The good news, obviously, the only change we need to make is Verismo. I don't know why Ndicka and Verismo don't get on, but Verismo in for the suspended. Milenkovic. Makoko returns to the bench. Sorry, I just saw skip through it. They've got Nabil Fekir up top. I presume that's Joe Gomez in central defence as well. It is. Frankie Dion, Kante, who's got to be like 34. He is. Highlight though, Joel Linton's been booked early on. I'm not surprised. Nketiah. Oh, Hakimi has a nibble, but doesn't get him. Marquinhos does. Sort of Joel Linton goes. If Joel Linton has scored against PSG. Okay, Real Madrid winning. They go ahead of us. PSG outside of the top 8 as things stand. They need this more than us. I've just realised we've gone the wrong formation, but Tyler Adams is injured, so that's part of the reason why I've forgotten. Because he's the best ball-winning midfielder we have. In case you're wondering why I was persevering with Joel Linton in every game, that's why. I forgot to mention it. It's almost like nearly scores the weirdest goal there. Man United have scored. They've gone ahead of us. 0-0 at half-time. Not a lot in the way of highlights. Bayern Munich have had a red card and they are 1-0 down. How has that affected their chances? They are in 20th. Ajax are 24th. They're winning their game currently. They are so close to not making it. Arsenal need to win to get through and they're losing. 75 minutes on the clock and literally nothing's happened in this second half. What the? Joel Linton off. Santos on. Szoboszlai, Aouar. I have to keep Almada on. Skov for Ord. Livramento for Gosling. And Nketiah has a little time, but maybe we'll take him off. For Makoko, of course, he's back. Yes, give him 13 minutes. We've not had a shot on target. We've had 10 shots, but not a single one on target. So, whilst Donnarumma is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, we've literally not tested him anyway. Santos, back to Almada. Do something with it, sunshine. That's plucked out the air by Donnarumma. That was the highlight. Blimey. I've not been paying attention to the top of the table. We're still 4th. Man United have gone behind us again. They must have conceded. Milan have gone ahead. And PSG finished the group stages 11th with this draw. Well, that was thrilling. Qualifying is a great achievement. Well done, lads. 4th. 4th in the group stages of the Champions League. That block from 9th to 16th, like the first half of the first rounders, Dortmund, PSG, Juventus, Atletico, Barcelona, Man City with a Wolfsburg PSV sandwich. The top 8, the straight through to the second rounders. Liverpool, Real Madrid, Man United, fair enough. AC Milan, kind of fair enough. But Stuttgart, Villarreal, Napoli, and ourselves all have snuck in there ahead of those teams. Tell you what, people hating on this new format. It's got its merits. I just noticed that Jack Harrison scored both goals for Celtic against Ajax. Nice to see you, Jack. Man United couldn't beat Basel. They're through anyway, but they couldn't beat Basel. Napoli get through by the skin of their teeth because they played Rosenborg away on the final day. 6-0 victory. Snuck. Villarreal final day victory away at Lyon. Snuck in. Ahead of PSG because of their draw. They go into the next section. Because Man City didn't win, they don't go through. 1 point. Sorry, I'm just looking at the head-to-head here for the teams on 15 points. I think Napoli have got into 8th on the basis of alphabet. Because they have exactly the same record as Wolfsburg. So just a small matter of Manchester City next, actually. But I also forgot to mention who the Carabao Cup final was against because they played their second leg the day after us, so it wasn't already decided. Of course, it's Wolves. But you may remember, Burnley won the first leg against Wolves 5-1. Wolves won the second leg 7-2. 7-2. So our first chance at domestic silverware, and it's our old friends Wolves. Before I leave you, I will show you who I am actually acquiring at complete left wing back. I've opted for Emmanuel Valeri. Is now work permit permitting, which he should get. 55 million is the deal. He's quite good. Loves to be complete wing back. Big matches, consistent, driven. All the key attributes I wanted. I was considering Kieran Tierney. He was sort of within the price range. His injury issues genuinely concern me, and I very rarely have to do that on Football Manager. But he had 2 multiple week injuries in the last couple of months, and his page of injuries was ridiculous. So I've opted for Valeri from Lazio, originally of Cremonese. It looks like you can pick this guy up for good value early on, so one to remember. But just because we are going like a month and a half until the next game, I figured I'd tell you it now. But we'll come back for that EFL Cup final, and depending on how that goes, we might sneak in the first leg of that Champions League knockout round, because I can see it comes either side of a Chelsea match as well, so we might do all 4 of those in a row in 2 episodes. So we'll come back for those. Until next time, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, do like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Until next time, ta-ra.